Sean Connery. I think that was the last one, the last crusade. And the crusades were who? Israelites.
Exactly.
Which started during the time of the so-called Dark Ages.
That's right.
All right? Before the Renaissance. Crusades with Jake, when we were in power back in Europe. But anyway, there was a certain amount of tasks he had to go through, and he had to walk, I think that was called the leap of faith or something like that.
He had to walk on the name of God.
He had to walk on the name of God. That was one of the tests. And I think what he did was he stepped on the J.
He fell through.
And he fell through. And then he realized, he said, that's not the right name. Then he stepped on the Yah. So they showing you that they know the name of the Most High. All right?
I think he spelled
it like that. Masons, a lot of time when they hide their treasure, they back it up just like that. That's where that movie came from.
Yeah, but they go off. They think that's right. They think they know. They think they know shit. They don't know nothing. They don't know nothing. You know?
They found it. They do.
Right.
But a lot of certain biblical stuff.
Right.
They added on.
Right. Well, anyway, go to Jeremiah 8:1.
Yep.
Because it's prophesied that they were going to do this, man. They're going to dig up our bones and so forth. That's what the devil does. That's what the devil does.
This is Jeremiah chapter 8, verse 1. At that time, saith the Lord, they shall bring out the bones of the kings of Judah and the bones of his princes.
What does it really mean by the bones? Meaning their garments, their swords, their crowns, their plates, their furniture, anything that they had. All right, go ahead, brother.
It says, at that time, saith the Lord, they shall bring out the bones of the kings of Judah, and the bones of his princes, and the bones of the priests, and the bones of the prophets, and the bones of the inhabitants of Jerusalem out of their graves. And they shall spread them before the sun and the moon and all the hosts of heaven.
Right, the sun and the moon and all the hosts of heaven is what? Sun represents wisdom, and the moon represents understanding. All right, and their technology. So they'll get their microscopes out. They'll get they'll use their carbon dating 14 to find out how old it was, to see if it. In other words, they know that King David lived in this period, this time period. He lived, what was it, 1100 BC. Or as they would say, BCE.
Right.
And BC, y'all know what BCE means? BCE means before the Christian era. They'll say, beat them devils that don't believe in the Most High. They won't say BC, before Christ. They'll say BCE, before the Christian era. Because they don't want to give glory to the Lord. So they'll find out that David lived around 1100 years BCE, as they put it. So they'll use their carbon dating 14, their carbon dating whatever they use, their technology, to see, well, they found this thing and it says Dawayat on it, right? And they'll check to see what time frame in history this somebody actually artifact was actually being used. Now if it might say 1011 AD, so they know that that's not David's crown or David's sword. But if they find something, they confirm it using their technology, then they say, yep, this is the actual sword of so and so, of Gideon.
Like the Gideon Bible.
Like the Gideon Bible.
I got this.
All right, which is nothing but the King James Bible.
Yeah, it's not. It's missing some.
It's just missing some words. Now the ark, the Noah's Ark, they had a good clue. Oh, they actually had the location.
Right.
They said the scripture said that the Noah's Ark landed in Mount Ararat. So they know where the location is. So they'll send their scientists, their historians, and their archaeologists to try to dig up a piece a piece of the get photographs, X-ray photographs, all right, satellite photographs. But they actually want a tangible piece of the ark.
Right, scripture.
Now there was one scientist that went up there that climbed the actual mountain, and he saw it started lightning and thundering, and let me tighten.
Yeah.
And he saw one lightning bolt came down, and it formed into a ball, then it formed into a fist, and it punched the scientist off the mountain. I don't know if he got killed or what. So now when you see something like that, that's the Most High. That's the Most High, man. You know? Go ahead, brother.
Ezekiel 28:3. Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee.
So they check out everything, man.
That's right.
It tells you, I believe it's in Matthews, it says the children of this world are wiser than the children of light. Meaning they're up on things, man. This devil checks out every fucking thing. And you know what? We pretty much do what this devil does. He's always researching shit and searching shit out, right? Well, we do the same damn thing. Because you got to be up on everything with this devil. Because the devil brings something out that you never heard of, man. So you got to know every goddamn thing. What if the devil jumped up and said, look, what year did the Battle of Hastings take place? All right? You wouldn't have the right answer.
Quick reset for you.
They might ask you, what year did the War of 1812 take place? And you give me some time to research it.
Yeah, right.
And then they make
Quick
a mockery
reset.
out of it. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Exactly. So you gotta know all history, man. And you gotta know how to say, well, I don't know that part of history. All right?
Like Eustace Mullins. Gotta be like a Eustace Mullins.
You gotta be like a Eustace Mullins, yep. Which he didn't know everything. Cause I got MP3 player, and I got one of his shows, and he was going into Canaan. I think, what was the name of that show? The Curse of Canaan. And he did say that the white men are Edomites, but he didn't include himself in that. All right. We said something else.
He said that the Canaanites were white descendants of.
Right. He said the Canaanites, that the Cossacks came from descended from the Canaanites. So I said, this guy's going off.
Right.
See, that's why you got to know how to discern between the facts and the lies. You know.
Eustace Mullins also believed that bullshit about the Nephilim having sex with the angels coming down and having sex.
He knew a lot of things, but he didn't. He was off. He was off.
Comes to the
And then he got it. And then when it comes to the scriptures, he's way off, man. Just like George Gordon.
Oh man.
When it comes to the law, he can tell you the law backwards and forwards. But then when he goes into the scriptures, he mangles the scriptures, man.
Call him the mangler.
Yep.
I got a quick preset for you.
Because the knowledge that this guy, Eustace Mullins he got his knowledge primarily from the Library of Congress.
And Ezra Pound.
But Ezra Pound pushed him to go to the Library of Congress. Now this is what he said. He said he went to the history of the Library of Congress, and he said, I think it was Bob Lee that asked him how far did it go back? Human civilization. He said 5,000 years, which he was right on. He was right on that. Showing you that the Library of Congress, they got it right on the time frame of human civilization.
Right.
So
But they're gonna have scientists tell you, well, this motherfucker lived 20 million years ago. The Earth is not even 12, not even 9,000 years old. The universe is about 13,000. All right.
So they know who the Israelites are.
Yeah, of course they know who the Israelites are.
Got the library.
If they didn't figure it out, they know it from watching us, man.
Quick
Go ahead,
preset.
brother.
1 John 2:20. But ye have an unction from the Holy One, and you know all things.
We're supposed to know everything, man. If you're a man of the Lord.
Yeah.
But that proves that General Gonorrhea, he's not a man of the Lord.
Right.
That's why his Monday night show, he didn't accept no calls.